Introducing first to my left, from the 845 New York, weighing in at 205 pounds, the Pretty Boy Shooter, A-Game Joseph Alexander!
There's a warm welcome back.
No doubt.
And his opponent to my right, from Goffstown, New Hampshire, weighing in at 170 pounds, the SOB from the 603, Seabass Finn!
Our latest iteration, and we see right now no shortage of respect between one another. We're getting the sportsmanship right out there in the open in our opening contest. Pro Wrestling Grind, Stormbringer, Joseph Alexander, Seabass Finn. This is our return of the king, Alyssa.
No doubt about that, Torres. And as you had said, too, the mutual respect, I think, between them, it could harken back to both of them having extensive amateur careers, not only respect for one another, respect for the mat, respect for the sport.
Beautiful.
Full display here. Again, both incredibly versed when it comes to that mat wrestling.
Trying to run the pipe now with Seabass Finn, but A-Game Alexander, both of these two relentless in how intelligently they are defending. This is usually an advantage for one or the other. In this case, we're nearing a stalemate, but now Seabass Finn in the waistlock. A-Game. Great presence of mind around the ring here.
Expertly matched, and as we've seen, you know, the incredible accolades that Seabass has had in the amateur career, but A-Game can balance that out with how much he's done with adding more boxing and striking acumen, but now here on the mat, it could be anyone's game.
Yeah, thus far it literally has been. Nobody has had the high ground thus far. From ankle picks to high crotch singles to well-executed sprawls. The knowledge that these two have of one another, it just keeps getting deeper.
And we can attribute that to their own talent, their own capacity for the sport, but also to being well-versed with one another from the time that they've spent over the years. This would be perhaps their fourth matchup, one-on-one.
Iron sharpening iron all along the way. And A-Game Alexander now, you can see, circling behind intelligently, and the gut wrench! We're getting freestyle on him! Points on that, and that's a lot of runway created for Joseph Alexander. Flies on in with the big right.
A-Game Alexander now, wait a second, rip reverse, winds around, and again, closing the distance, that single leg drop kick.
Lest we forget, folks, we can talk about
the cover.
We can talk about the freestyle, folk style credentials of both of these combatants all day, but it's more about how they've transitioned that game into professional wrestling here in Professional Wrestling Grind, if you will.
No doubt, and Seabass now bridging out of that cover from A-Game once again, and once more for good measure.
You ask any folk-style, freestyle, Greco-Roman practitioner, you spend hours with the bridge drills. Seabass Finn.
But again, A-Game keeps trying to wear down Seabass. Seabass not letting him have it.
These two know each other all too well by this point, and they know that working away at the gas tank, it's a long-term investment that pays short-term dividends.
And these are certainly two that, I mean, I couldn't put it past either. The gas tanks, the resilience, and just the overall grit from both of these combatants is now opening fire on Seabass Finn.
A-Game Alexander stacking up the strikes, the snapmare. Seabass Finn rolls on through, and we're back to a collar and elbow tie-up. Familiar ground for both of these two.
Back to the drawing board, weaving around, hitting all different levels inside of the Emerald Ring.
And there are truly levels to this for these two.
Rounds himself reversal from Seabass. Oh, wait a second.
Steps on through. Beautiful.
Stepping on through to the other side. Not enough to pick up the win, but again, undeterred is Seabass Finn.
And now reaching on through for the far arm. A-Game intelligently defending. But A-Game, he's watching for those upper body pinning combinations that Seabass Finn has drilled to exhaustion during his days at Springfield College. Now settle down in the front chancery. The front chin, or the front face lock gets you nasty.
Definitely a disorienting, but now A-game with these measured strikes straight to the rib cage, the abdominals.
Now he's trying to choke out A-game there, stepping off the bottom rope right into the half-hat suplex.
And there's that bridge, putting that extra torque, the pressure on the shoulder, still not enough. A-game digging down deep in our opening contest to Stormbringer.
Only continues to get deeper between these two, and it's only going to continue to get deeper all night here at the Florence VFW. Get your glizzies, they're coming hot. Speaking of coming hot.
Hot fire on display. The strikes dished back and forth.
And A-game Alexander now tasting the raw edge of that. But Seabass Finn fighting for the German suplex. A-game trying to keep that weight down.
Quick with the back elbows, but again, not operating at 100% with the damage to the shoulder.
Now the standing swell. Oh my God!
Off he goes, swinging for the fences, the hook of the leg, and Seabass Finn, a vehement kick out.
A mean 1-2 out of A-game Alexander. Not one that Seabass Finn has ever been on the receiving end for. How do you game plan for something like that? You can't. Seabass Finn, he's living proof.
You ain't kidding, Torres. And A-game 2, I think, has come back with a vengeance from being sidelined with injury, and that could look like new moves in the arsenal. That could look like going back to the drawing board and improving upon what he was already doing so well.
And he's penned the first words of that next chapter in other realms, not here in the Emerald Ring. And that's something that sits near and dear to Joseph Alexander. And now scraping the boot across the face of Seabass Finn.
Definitely playing these mind games. Oh, wait a second, though. Tripped off his feet.
Picks the ankle. Seabass Finn, well done, posturing up and raining down the rights.
But thrown off. Oh, crack right to the jaw of A-game.
The stank on that. And now quick to follow up, wants another half hatch. A-game weaves his way out, finds home with the hook kick. On the button.
Wait a second now, swept up. Oh, almost sacked the shoulder. Look at the power of Seabass Finn driving down A-game Alexander.
Damn near a ball and chain suplex. A-game Alexander left without a choice but to ricochet into the corner. And Seabass Finn, that's a long way.
Oh, closes that distance.
Yakuza kick finds home. Crisscross, watch the German. Got it. Wait, A-game. I don't know if that's voluntary.
Springing back up, taken back down. And now the cover from Seabass. A-game keeping it alive.
The Masaiku knee finds home. Seabass Finn, A-game. Alexander digging deep. That's always been the story of Pro Wrestling Grind. The opening contest is the bar setter. Beat this if you can, survive if we let ya. Seabass Finn and A-game Alexander living up to it.
You are certainly right about that, Torres, as now back-to-back these combatants.
Destined to do it forever.
Oh, Jesus, these little jabs now escalating to back elbow shivers. Great minds thinking alike as now the two.
Oh, hockey fighting! Multi-sports slugfest. We're in the hockey realm now. A-game, counter puncher, firing off the lefts in bunches.
Again, we talked about that growing boxing acumen that A-game has been adding. But now, vicious flurry of strikes from Seabass, caught by A-game.
Wise mix of strikes out of Seabass Finn, but A-game Alexander now. Finn left in a corner, nowhere to go.
Those body shots can do so much damage, but not as much as a boot crack straight to the face.
And now up and over into the waistlock. A-game holding on to the top rope. Bandera to the outside. Seabass Finn lands on his feet. Finds home with the right.
And Seabass Finn now rallying the fans here in Florence, summoning that extra energy to propel him forward in this opening contest.
Never been one who's afraid to is an X factor here, and A-Game now following suit to the top rope.
Oh, a long way down off of the top rope.
Floats on over. Oh, Scott's last gift, the Camp Schlittler driver if you're nasty. And that was nasty, but only two.
Only two is truly speaking volumes. The resilience, the determination of Seabass Finn. But wait a second now. Up in the angle slam position, twists with it.
The Argentine backbreaker lands hard on his head to Seabass Finn, somehow answering our referee Nate Speckman welcome back's count.
But if you can see the vehement and the deliberate energy of Seabass's kickouts are starting to dwindle. That one barely able to get the shoulder up in time, does, but you gotta wonder is how much more? How much more?
That's a heavy weapon out of the armory of A-Game Alexander. He utilized that very Argentine backbreaker to take out all 4 tag teams when they won the tag team championships at Blitzkrieg Pro. And now, stepping into the big rights, he wants...
Second.
Oh! Seabass stepped into that right, and now the small package!
2 count only, says Nate Speckman.
And now he's fighting for that cradle once again, but A-Game Alexander, what defense here?
Maestral, no, rolls through to Seabass. Every one of these questions has an answer from the other, and stacked high on the shoulders, still able to kick out.
Maestral meets the big overhand left.
And here it is, stacking high. The fury, fire in the eyes of A-Game Alexander, that frustration mounting.
Iron sharpening iron all throughout our opening contest.
Wait a second.
On hold.